A good way to get a higher income is to offer a full video production service. This could include scripting, shooting and editing. With Filmora, you can offer professional services such as text translation, animated subtitles, color grading and much more. Let's take a look at some. Let's work on the scenario that a brand new company has come to us and asked us to create a video intro about sustainable living. As a new startup company, they don't have any video or images that we can use, but they have sent us a logo and a simple brief just saying that the video intro has to be about sustainable living. And that's it. Let's see what we can do in Filmora to create this video intro for them. First thing we need is a script. So when you open the Filmora startup page, go down to AI Toolbox, go over to AI Copywriting, and in here we want to choose Knowledge Introduction Article. Let's write in there a video intro about sustainable living. I'll leave it in English and click on Generate. That may take a minute or two. It's bringing up plenty of information regarding sustainable living, and we can choose what we want to use from here. So let's look at the last conclusion. In today's fast-paced world where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, that looks good. I'll highlight all of that, I'll copy it, and I'll save that elsewhere for me to use as a script later. So I've saved that script now and I've changed it to be a bit more suitable to the company. Now we need to create the intro video. So the first thing I do is go to templates to see if there's anything that's suitable. I'm going to type in the word home because this is home energy. Do a search on that, and after looking through them, I did notice a good one at the very bottom called sustainable living. Let's see what that looks like as we play it. Yeah, I'm sure we can use that, so let's drag that down to the timeline. Let's click on click to replace material, and let's expand the template so that we can see what we're working with. Right, plenty of stuff going on there, but before I start editing this, the first thing I'm going to do is the voiceover script. We've got the script that we did from AI Copywriting before, so I'm now just going to do a voiceover, and you do that simply by clicking on the little mic icon there. When you're ready to record, press the record button. Right, I've recorded my voiceover there. Let's just have a quick listen to that. In today's fast-paced world where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, sustainable living... Okay, the words are okay, I just don't like the sound of my voice. Let's create subtitles. Let's right-click on the actual audio clip, go to speech to text, and now I want to keep it as UK. I want to add automatical active words and click on OK. That will then transcode it and put in subtitles. That's completed. I'm now going to mute my voice. I'll unmute the audio so we can hear what it sounds like, and I'm just going to have a look at the subtitles and change the way they look. So if you click on the first subtitle, let's choose a suitable template. That one would work well with being green as in energy. Then go to the basic tab, and I need to change the letter I for a capital I, and I want to change the actual size of the font as well. So I like the type of font, the font's okay, I don't need to change that, I just want to change the size. So I'm going to change that to maybe 44, and I also want to change the active words to 44 as well. Okay, and now that I've done that, I can apply that to all the other subtitles simply by clicking on apply to all. Click apply again, take it back to the start, and let's see what that looks like. In today's fast-paced world where environmental concerns are okay, that looks okay at the moment. What I don't like is the music. So let me just mute that and we'll change the music in a minute. In today's fast-paced world where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent. Sustainable living come. That's okay. Obviously I need to move some of these things about. That's going over the subtitles, or I can just move all the subtitles. Let me try that first. I'll highlight all of the subtitles. I'll go to the multiple tab. I'll make sure I can see the subtitles first by moving in slightly. Make sure they're highlighted. Go to the multiple tab and I'll just move them down to the very bottom. Let's see if that fits in better now. In today's fast-paced world, where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. By harnessing the power of solar and wind energy. Okay, what I might do is I might actually move them all to the top, because there doesn't seem to be anything going on at the top. So let's just make sure they're all highlighted again. The subtitles. Go to the multiple tab and I'll change the Y axis now and take them to the very top. Let's see if that looks better. In today's fast-paced world, where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. By harnessing the power. Yeah, that looks better up there. Okay, so we'll leave that as it is. We want to change the background music because I didn't like that one. So let's unmute it. I'll delete that by pressing delete on the keyboard, and I'll import a new piece of music. And I found one in my subscription services, but you might be able to find one on Filmora called A New Life. So I'll drag that down onto the audio track. Looks quite loud, so what I'll do is I'll adjust the volume down to maybe -20. See what that sounds like to begin with. In today's fast-paced world, where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. Yep, that fits in well. I like that. Right, let's see what we can do about all the other bits and bobs on the intro that we don't actually need. So for example, sustainable living. That's okay. We like sustainable. Take one. We like take two. We like sustainable living. I just don't want real estate. So go up to the titles tab. We don't want it to say real estate, so let's just change that to, let me think. The future is now. There we go. That's a good line. Capital T for there. Yeah, we'll keep that. Let's just scroll through. Right, they're not too bad, those transitions. Yeah, quite like them. I'll carry on through. I don't really need any of this at the bottom because it's all about the text at the top. So let me just delete that completely. Let's carry on through. Again, I don't want any of the text on there, so I don't need that. Keep going through. I might keep that one and just change the text to harness solar and wind energy. I'm just making this up as go along just to give you an example. Obviously you'll put in what you need for the actual business. We'll carry on going through. That's great, and that looks fantastic. Yeah, the wording underneath sustainable. Take three. Sustainable living needs to be changed, obviously, so we click on that piece of text and we can change that to, let's say, make a better world. Okay, we can see that the actual titles and the voiceover goes off. So what I might do is I'll move them to the very end and I'll look for another piece of footage to slot in here. So let's go to stock media, library, and just type in energy, for example, or solar. Maybe let's try solar. Yeah, that'll do. There's solar panels there. Let's just have a look at this one. Yeah, we can use that one. So what I'm going to do is drag that down at the very top because it looks like it's quite a long video. So if I do it above all the rest, you can see it goes way off. If I would have put it there, it would have shoved everything to the right. So put it on the top. And now what I can do is chop this down when the other video starts there. So highlight that, chop, and delete. Now I need to move that down to this piece here and see what that looks like. To adopt sustainable practices, paving the way for a greener, healthier, and more sustainable future. Yeah, that's good. Happy with that. Just notice the titles. Some of the text looks to be a bit big. So let me just go back to the beginning, and the green text seems okay there. It's okay there. I don't know what's going on there, but they're overlapping each other. Let me just check on the basic tab. Right, okay, yeah, some of them are highlighted, which means they're being emphasized. I don't want to emphasize anything, so I shall unemphasize them, if that's the right word, by highlighting everything and clicking on emphasis. I'll do the same on the next tab. Yes, there's a couple there of hope. I need to highlight that and remove the emphasis. The next one, any there? No, that's okay. The next one, yes, there's some there. So anything that's got a green box on has been emphasized. We want to unemphasize by clicking on it again. It just makes the word a keyword and makes it pop and make it bigger, but we don't want that in this scenario. The next one, so we do this right the way through. And the last one, again, well, it's all emphasized there, so I need to highlight it all, click on emphasis. Right, let's have a look at that from the start. In today's fast-paced world, where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. By harnessing the power of solar and wind energy, we can effectively encourage individuals to adopt sustainable practices, paving the way for a greener, healthier and more sustainable future. Looking at it now, I think I'd actually prefer the text or the titles at the bottom. So the only thing that's going to affect that is that harness solar wind energy. So what I need to do is I need to move that up, and the way we do that is we click on the actual title, we go to video, and we change the Y scale of it all. So I'll put it more or less in the middle, and I'll take it across to the center as well. I think it might look better there. Now I want to move all the titles back down, so don't forget we need to highlight all of the subtitles, and we need to move them all down on the multiple tab. Okay, let's move them down to the, not quite the bottom, maybe there. Back to the beginning, let's try that one more time. In today's fast-paced world, where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. By harnessing the power of solar and wind energy, we can effectively encourage individuals to adopt sustainable practices, paving the way for a greener, healthier and more sustainable future. We're getting there. Right, I noticed there where I say by harnessing the power of solar and wind. That text there says harness solar and wind energy, so I'm going to move that above the piece of footage where it states harnessing the power of solar and wind, because that'll make more sense. So let's try from there. As a beacon of hope. By harnessing the power of solar and wind energy, we can effectively encourage individuals to adopt sustainable practices, paving the way for a greener, healthier and more sustainable future. That's great. What I need to do now is add the company logo. Now I'm just wondering where I can add that. I need to create the logo before I can add it anywhere. So go to Media, Influence Kit, Start Creating, and start creating a logo. You can choose one. Let's click on a couple and see what they look like. That's not bad. That's not bad. I like that one. Do you know what? They're all quite good, really. That's quite nice. Digital pixel. I'll use that. Start creating. Click on Add to add the company's logo. Okay, that's fine. We've got some text there. Yeah, I don't like that text really. In fact, I'm just going to take the text off completely and leave the logo. Let's click on Finish. That's added the logo right at the beginning there. I'm just going to drag that to the very top because I want to put the logo somewhere within the actual video. It might be nice to come in there really. Let me just drag that to the top and see what it looks like there. World. Okay. Not a bad place, but it's a bit big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink it down slightly and move it up to the top. So I'm going to highlight everything that I've created so far, right click and group so that nothing changes when I move it. There you go, you can do anything you want and everything stays in place. I'm just going to drag it right back to the very start of the clip there. Right, we're right back at the beginning. Let's see what that looks like with the logo kicking in now. Paced world where environmental concerns. Okay, I'm going to move that over to the actual right hand side. I think it'll look better there. So let me just get the logo up by moving in slightly. About there, and I want to move that. I need to ungroup first, don't forget. So right click, ungroup, because it's just the logo I want to move now. And I'll change the position of that to the left hand side. Like that. Let's see what that looks like. In today's fast-paced world where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, maybe too big, and I want to change the position to the right hand side actually. So let me try that again. So I'll make it slightly smaller. And what I'll do is I'll go on to the next slide, because I'd like it to be in the top right hand corner there in the sky, which will look good. So I'll want that logo to kick in when that slide appears round about there. So I'll move the logo across. You can see it's on par with that one, and let's see what that looks like. In today's fast-paced world where environmental concerns are becoming increasing, comes in a bit quick. I'll move it a bit further. Let's try that again. Concerns are becoming increasingly urgent. Yeah, that looks good. Sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. Right, I want it to kick out when that next transition comes in. So I want it to disappear there. So let me just drag the logo so it'll disappear when the next transition comes in. Concerns are becoming increasingly urgent. Sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. That works well. I'd like that to fade out though, rather than just cut out completely. So click on the logo, go to animation, and click on fade out and drag it over to the animation. And this is where we can drag these little keyframes about so it will fade out as the next transition comes in. There we go, that works well. Let's try that. Environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent. Sustainable living comes as a beacon of... I might actually put the logo at the very end as well. Yeah, I might just put it there as well. So right click on the logo, copy, make sure you're on the actual correct timeline by clicking on it and making it grey. We're in the right place. Do Control V to paste the logo in. Now obviously that's too long because it finishes sooner than that, so I'm going to drag the fade in on both of them to where it ends, and then I can drag the actual clip in. Let's see how that looks when it finishes now. Paving the way for a greener, healthier and more sustainable future. That looks good, but I'd like this logo to be in the centre and slightly bigger. So what I'm going to do is I've deleted the fade out, and I'm going to move this to the centre, and I'm going to make it bigger just by clicking on the handle. Keep dragging it about. That looks about right. You know you're in the center because that blue line comes up there to say that you're center. That's fine. And now what I'll do is I'll go back to the animation tab and create the fade out again. Just click and drag and move that to the end. Let's see what that looks like. For a greener, healthier and more sustainable future. Yep, that looks better. Let's look at it from the start and see what we think. In today's fast-paced world where environmental concerns are becoming increasingly urgent, sustainable living comes as a beacon of hope. By harnessing the power of solar and wind energy, we can effectively encourage individuals to adopt sustainable practices, paving the way for a greener, healthier and more sustainable future. That looks really good, and I'm sure the client will be very, very happy with that. And that took what, 10-15 minutes to create? Not bad at all, eh? Okay, we've got the intro, the client's happy. He now wants it translating into Spanish because they're looking to open a business there as well. What can we do about that? No problem. We've got our project here. First thing we need to do is delete the actual subtitles because they're all in English. So highlight all them and press on delete. We've got my voice recording there. In today's fast, and we want to translate that. So we right click on it. We go to AI translation. We're translating the voice and the text, and we want it from UK translating into Spanish. Let's click on translate. and let Filmora work its magic. Now that could take a couple of minutes depending on how much voice you've got. Mine's completed. Let's just close that and let's see what it's done. In today's fast-paced world, okay, it's translated it but still kept in my voice there. So what I need to do is click on my voice and either mute it, which I will do to begin with, and I might end up deleting that. So let's just play, see what it looks like. En el mundo de hoy en día, donde las preocupaciones ambientales se vuelven cada vez más urgentes, la vida sostenible... I mean, that's very impressive. It's actually translated to Spanish, but still in my tone of voice. It's amazing how that works. So let's just have one more look at that. En el mundo de hoy en día, donde las preocupaciones ambientales se vuelven cada vez más urgentes, la vida sostenible... How clever is that? I mean, obviously as you go through, there's another piece of text there, harness solar and wind energy. You'd change that to Spanish, you'd Google translate that maybe, but I'll just leave it as it is for now, just for obviously the purpose of this tutorial. But that's a great little feature there. One of the other ones I mentioned at the start was color grading, so let's just check that out. The client's happy with it, but he thinks some of the actual footage is not the right color. So for example, that looks a bit dull. Let's click on that, go up to filters, and here we have plenty of filters we can choose from. Some are paid and some are free. The ones with the little icon on are paid ones, but let's just check some of the ones out there that are free. So at the moment it's dull. Let's change that to sunny days. Click on that. Prácticas sostenibles, allanando el camino para un futuro más eco. I'm just going to mute my voice at the moment. So again, let's have a look at some others. Vivid might be good. That's a strange one. Looks great though. Let me just put that back to the start of the clip. What about bright lights? Let's see what that does. Bit too bright and washed out. Let's go for Sierra. And just keep going through until you find one that's suitable. If for some reason in all of those filters you can see there you can't find one, you can do it manually. Just click on the video, go to color, and then you can choose your options there. So the temperature, tint and vibrance, and I just want to actually make the exposure brighter so it looks like a sunny day. There you go, just taking the exposure up has helped a lot. Let's try that now. Yeah, that looks better. So there we go. We've provided the client with a full video production including scripting, shooting, editing, color grading, dynamic subtitles and text translation, all within 30 minutes maximum, and I hope it benefits you in generating some extra income. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe and click on the notification icon. That really does help my channel. As always, thanks for watching. Now go have some fun.